And a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com, and welcome to Night Moves here for Saturday, December 13th. We've got a fun day of action here on Saturday with, one game. There's one game, and then there's all the others here on Saturday. You know that. I know that. And if you're like me, you're all about the Army Navy game today. We got some other sporting events as well here on Saturday. We'll cover a lot of action actually here tonight on Night Moves here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me here. Got a couple dozen of you already lined up here, and just a little bit of a delay. I'll be flying solo here tonight, so I think we cover a lot of games here with not only Army Navy, but we've got the final LA Bowl. We're going to bury that one, I guess, here, but there'll be one more game out at the SoFi Stadium. Seems like a pretty good place to have a bowl, but you know what? The bowls are going bye-bye unless you have some type of tradition or, a profitable bowl. I mean, some of these bowls just aren't going to cut it anymore, and the LA Bowl is kind of the first to be hacked off the chopping block, that one, and one other for sure, but we'll see. I mean, it just all probably goes to an expanded playoff, and the bowls go by the wayside. What a waste, huh? You'd think that they could figure it out. I mean, they tell me the ratings are good. If ratings are good, the money should be good, but the teams end up taking a loss on those games. So, somebody's getting paid, I guess. But we'll cover the Army-Navy game for sure. We've got a huge slate of hockey here tonight on Night Moves, and then we also have college basketball's best games. I mean, yes, it's all about Army Navy, but I'd say it's a good day to focus in on some college basketball. I'll look at the best games on the card here. We might be here a few minutes with all the games I have scheduled to talk to you about. So let me say hello to a few folks in the chat, and we'll get started. Greg's in the chat right now. Nice to see you, Greg. He's here, and Timmy Two Shoes as well. He's ready to go. A couple guys joining me here in the chat all stars. And I want to hear from anyone in the chat here tonight. Want to say hello to me or give me your pick on the big games tomorrow, or ask what game you'd like me to talk about here over the next few minutes on Night Moves. Pretty uneventful day there in the world of sports on Friday, but we did have a nice NBA card. Couldn't really find too many winners here on Night Moves. I had Atlanta and Detroit game total over yesterday. There was a winner we had on Night Moves from yesterday in that one, and the victory there for Detroit. They smashed them 142 to 115 there yesterday, and we also had the over in the game between Utah and Memphis, as Utah stunned Memphis there. Who saw that one coming with Utah, the road victory, 130 to 126 there in that one, and did have another wild game late night with Minnesota and Golden State there. Minnesota ended up getting the win. Golden State fell behind as Minnesota went on a huge run to take a big lead. Golden State came all the way back to take the lead, only to see Minnesota win it in the end by taking their own late game surge. And the Timberwolves beat the Warriors last night, late night on the West Coast. We did have some college basketball action as well yesterday. The big one was Texas and Connecticut. A pretty good game there yesterday. Connecticut got the win 71 to 63 there. And also FCS playoffs last night. Montana State rocked Stephen F. Austin for a win and a cover in a high-scoring game there, and a couple games on the ice last night, as well as St. Louis edged Chicago 3-2, and it was Utah late night over Seattle 5-3. All right, I see Jerry Jones in the chat. He's ready to go today, and I'll just get started with the show here. Thank you for joining me. We got a long show, so why not settle in? Alex is here and he likes the Spurs tomorrow. We're going to get to it for sure right now here on Night Moves with those big games. But we got to start with game number one, always here. Come on. If you don't think this game's number one, well, I won't kick you out of the show, but it's Army Navy here on Saturday, the world's greatest pro football or college football game. Man, uh, love this one. Sends chills up the spine every year. It's on my bucket list, and I don't have many buckets left to list. But Navy, a big favorite this year. Look, they're pretty much way better than Army this year, but take the paper and throw it out the window when Army plays Navy here. This time they'll play in Baltimore. This time around, Army comes in here with a 6-4 record. Nothing wrong with that. Navy comes in at 9-2, absolutely having a great season here with a great quarterback and Blake Horvath. Navy not the best of favorites under Coach Newberry, 9-11 ATS as a favorite, and just 2-5 against the spread. This season, Navy, however, 18-11 against the spread, coming in off of a win. They've gone over in 7 of their last 10 games against Division I competition. The teams have split the last 6 meetings here in the series. It really I want to say almost doesn't matter, if you know what I mean. With these two, yeah, there is a difference between the clubs this year. There's not much, you know, to dispute that for sure. But anytime these two teams, every time they get together, you can expect the unexpected. It's almost like when you get one of the two teams is more highly favored over the other, it is almost a recipe for an upset because for some reason the other team kind of, I don't want to say plays down to the opponent. You're not doing that here, with these two clubs, but it's just the way it goes. And this total at 39.5, look, Army-Navy games always go under. Yes, you could say this year that the military academies aren't kind of doing the military academy thing with the totals. I've seen plenty of overs this season with the teams, but when they get together, it's usually an under. You know why? Because, hey, you don't want to show the rest of the world the United States can't play any defense. Pardon me. I'm half kidding, but I'm not kidding. 39.5 looks pretty high to me for an Army-Navy game. Yeah, Horvath is an explosive guy. A great quarterback, but running the offense the way he does and what we expect from this Navy team. For Army here, they've won 5 of their last 7 games coming into this one. And they've lost to Tarleton, who is going to be playing here on Saturday in the FCS playoffs. They lost to them 30-27. There's nothing wrong with that. They've got a pretty good quarterback in the junior Helms. He's rushed for over 1,000 yards this season. He's passed for 500 yards. The Black Knights run the ball. We know that. They've run the ball for 225 yards at least in 10 of their 11 games this season. Army's a pretty fortunate team or an opportunistic team. They're +9 in turnovers in the last 8 games total. Army's 14-10 against the spread. Their last 24 coming off of a win. 6 of Army's last 8 games have gone under here. I'll mention those totals. Like I said, Navy's an over team this year. Okay, they're 5-1 to the over as a favorite, 8-3 to the over overall, and Army's 4-7 to the under altogether. In this series, the under has come in just 17 of the last 19 meetings. Do I need to say more? It's not like you're getting something completely different out there. The only thing you're really getting is that, Horvath is so seasoned. He's done this for so long, not likely to make mistakes out there. That's why you have a 6.5 point favorite here in this one. But you guys can comment in the chat about this one. The underdog in this series has covered 8 of the last 11 meetings. Altogether last season, it was 31-13. Navy did spank them pretty good, but you know what? Remember, Navy was the dog last year by 6.5 points, and that one Army won the previous 2 years. The scores in this game, I mean, last year, look, it did go for 44 points, but the year before 17-11, the year before 20-17, the year before 17-13. That's usually the way it goes in the Army-Navy game. It's almost like they want to take pride in running the offenses the way they do. The hitting is just tremendous, and the pageantry, it is a game where you want to watch every detail. From start to finish, from the pregame show to the postgame show to the singing of the hymns at the end of the game with the opposing teams. Just terrific. I love it. And go to you guys in the chat, and I'll make a pick here. See what you guys do. I know where I'm at side and total, so you already know. Actually, I don't need to give the pick, but I'll give an official pick here. All right, let's see here. Hello to Teflon Don in there. Everyone's taking the under, says Greg. And Jerry says it was last year, 31-13 Navy. Mr. Mio says, does everybody's screen look different? I'm trying some other methods of showing the show here, and hopefully going to get it right. If there's any problem out there, I do apologize. I'll make sure, as long as the show's coming through, I'm okay with it. But you might be looking at it in a different orientation. I'm trying to send out some feeds for people who like to watch a vertical setup. So Mr. Weskers likes Army here. Teflon Don likes Army plus the points. Timmy Chushu, Army plus the points. Man, everybody's liking Army here, aren't they? You got to take Army. And look, I think almost, you almost default to kind of what I'm saying a little bit too. Like, oh man, you got to take the dog in the game. I will say, I mean, this Navy team feels like one of the best Navy teams in several years, or even, when Army's had some success. Like, this really is above and beyond a really good team this season. But again, I just get back to the way it goes, the way it goes. Tom Reghard Jr., he's in as well. Okay, everybody likes Army. I'll go with the total because everyone here is liking the dog, and you know how I'm going in this one. So, and Andre says he likes Army plus the points and the over, but I'm me, I'm going with the under in this one. Like I said, 17 of the last 19 years. It was 17 of 18 until last year's game, and it did kind of go over there. And it wasn't totally easy there in the game, too. 13 points were scored in the final quarter. It was 21-10 at the end of 3 quarters, and Navy kind of pulled away. So I'm going under in the Army-Navy game here on Saturday. All right. All right, I think you guys have made your comments known and your picks known in the chat in that one. And let me go to the other bowl game here on Saturday. And we're going to go out to SoFi Stadium, where you'd think it'd be a great place for a bowl game. Boise State taking on Washington in the LA Bowl, the final LA Bowl. This one, they're getting kind of like Jimmy Kimmel. Well, almost like Jimmy Kimmel. Remember, it was the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl and the Gronk Bowl or the LA Bowl, but this one's getting canceled. Not this game, but this bowl is getting canceled after this. Wasn't really a knock. They always had trouble finding a sponsor for the game, I guess, and well, that sucks. don't lose any bowl games, but that's just the way it's going. Anyway, let's take a look at this one with Boise taking on Washington State. Boise comes in here 9-4 on a 3-game winning streak with wins over Colorado State, Utah State, and UNLV in the Mountain West. Uh, Game there, 38-21 for Boise and for Washington. They come in off of the loss to Oregon, 26-14. Did not cover, but they whipped up on UCLA. They beat Purdue before that as well. Boise's 8-4 against the spread this season, but Washington's 6-3 against the spread as a favorite. All 4 of Boise's losses were by more than 10 points this year. So I don't know. You look at them as an underdog here of 10 points. You might say that Washington, if they're going to win, they should cover. In all 4 of their losses, Boise only scored 7 points in those games. They lost to San Diego State, they lost to Fresno State, and only scored 7 points in those 2 games, and 2 others where they only scored 7 points as well. But Boise State 9-5 ATS, last 15 as an underdog, 7-11 against the spread, last 18 in non-conference games, but under Coach Danielson, 12-6 against the spread, coming in off of a win. Boise's gone under in 5 of its last 6 games coming in. Boise State has failed to cover in 4 straight bowl games, although they've been favored. They are 1-3 straight up, 0-4 against the spread. They have lost as against the spread as a favorite. For Washington here, under Coach Fish now, they're 9-5 against the spread as a favorite. Huskies are 9-5 against the spread their last 14 non-conference games. Washington met Boise 2 seasons ago in a season opener, and Washington won it 56-19. But the Mountain West has fared well in this bowl, going 3-1 against the spread, 3-1 straight up, and against the spread. This year, Big 10 teams are 0-5 against the spread against Mountain West teams this season. They did go 3-2 straight up in those games. So, all right, I'll go to the chat and see if you guys have a pick here in this one. With the LA Bowl here on Saturday. Let me see what you guys have in the chat. All right. Washington here for Mr. Weskers. And Timmy says, you got to be concerned with the motivation and effort in these games. One thing here, you might do that. Let's see, Washington never lost to Boise State, I think is what Jimmy Jones is saying in there. Jerry Jones. Thank you, Jerry. All right, I guess that's it from you guys in the chat. I'm going to take Boise State here plus the points. Look, Timmy says he's concerned with the motivation. If you're concerned with the motivation, I guess it would always be the bigger, more powerful team that would lack the motivation there, right? I mean, Boise has a little bit of momentum here with 3 wins and 2 covers in the last couple of games. Boise State 8-3-1 against the spread. 8-4-1, as I said, against the spread this season. And like Jerry said, they are 0-6 all time against the Washington Huskies. Washington's gone under in 6 of their last 9. 4 of the last 6 meetings between these 2 teams have gone under. Boise hasn't beaten Washington in 10 years, but they've only met 3 times in the last 10 years. So I'm taking Boise State here in the LA Bowl on Saturday. All right, and you guys had some great comments in there. We're going to move now to the NBA Cup right here in Las Vegas on Saturday. All right, NBA Cup action here on Saturday in Las Vegas, Eastern Conference Finals of the uh, NBA Cup with the Knicks favored by 5.5. The total 224 in this one with the Knicks here uh, versus the Magic. Let's get into this one. The Knicks come in here with 4 straight wins here right now. Win over, of course, Toronto in the NBA Cup quarterfinals. Uh, like I said, remember the quarterfinal. The quarterfinals count in the standings, and the other teams will make up the one game here momentarily. But these games, the semifinals and the finals, do not count in the standings. But the Knicks come in here off of the win over Toronto, 117-101. They did cover 6.5 points in that one. They also beat Orlando before that, win over Utah, win over Charlotte. The Knicks are 16-8 against the spread. They're 15-6 as a favorite this year, but Orlando is 4-2 as an underdog. Orlando's had a pretty good season so far. They're 15-10 overall. They've won 2 of their last 3 games here. Of course, they beat Miami 117-108 to advance here. Like I said, the two teams did just meet. It was 106-100 in a regular game there with Orlando winning at the Knicks. With the Knicks winning at home against Orlando back on December the 7th. The Knicks have gone under in 7 of their last 10 games coming into this one. Meanwhile, Orlando 4-2 to the over as an underdog here. The Knicks have won 8 of their last 9 overall, covering 8 of their last 9 overall. Orlando's failed to cover in 4 of their last 5 games coming into this one, but they've won 11 of their last 15. They've been playing pretty decent here. 12 of the last 16 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Orlando's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games, and the Knicks have gone under in 7 of their last 9. Look, the Knicks might be better than Orlando here, and they are favored, but I think Orlando's going to be able to stay in this game with the Knicks. Let's go to the chat All-Stars and see what you have in this one. Franz Wagner is still out for the Magic, so that feels like a big deal. They might have rode that home momentum last game, it feels like, to try to, remember, they fell behind the Heat by a pretty big margin there early, only to steadily fight back, come back, and get there. For the Knicks here, Miles McBride is out, and who's your daddy A? He's questionable in this one. Here we go. Cut some picks from you. Greg says he's got the Knicks and the under here. Here's Cal Dog. He likes the Knicks in this one on the money line. Also, Timmy Tushu likes Josh Hart here to bury some threes in the game. All right. Appreciate it in the chat. I'm going to take the Orlando Magic here, plus 5.5 points in the NBA Cup here on Saturday. All right. And let's see. Timmy says he likes the Knicks here in this one. All right, game 2 at the NBA Cup on Saturday night here in Las Vegas. And man, the Thunder come in to take on the San Antonio Spurs. Good news. We're expecting this time for sure. I'm pretty sure. We're all pretty sure. Victor Wembanyama will return just in time for the Spurs in this one as they take on the Thunder. Wembanyama has been sidelined for quite a while here now. He's only played in half of the games this season because of this calf strain right now, but he's back here for sure. He was almost back in the last one, but hey, the Spurs got the win anyways in the game against the Lakers. 132 to 119 as they stun the Lakers. We had the Spurs in that game. They were getting 7 points. Spurs come in here pretty good right now. They're 6-3 ATS as an underdog. Yeah, just a record of 17-7 right now, 12-10 ATS, but still one of the best teams going, it feels like here. But I'm trying to pump them up because they're taking on uh, one of the greatest teams in the history of the first 25 games of an NBA season. The Oklahoma City Thunder come in here 24-1. Not only that, they're pretty decent against the spread, 14-11. Sometimes they have trouble laying some big numbers. Sometimes they don't. From the last 4 games, they've smashed, despite being favored by 11.5 in 2 of the games, 15.5 in the other 2 games. They won and covered those, including the quarterfinal win over Phoenix, just 138-89. The onslaught was on early against the Suns in that one. So will game 2 of the NBA Cup semifinals be a total bore because Oklahoma City is going to roll through? Will it take some acclamation? Will Wemby be getting in the way of this team a little bit? It doesn't feel like that should be the case, but see what you guys have in this one with the double digits here. There are some 9.5s out there. There's a 10 out there. The Sharp Book is at 10 right now. Sharp Book's at 10 here. If anything, Oklahoma City may be a little bit more injury prone here in this game. In fact, the Spurs have an absolutely clean bill of health now that Wembanyama's back. But Isaiah Joe is out here. Sorber is now out for the season. We learned this week. And Kaysen Wallace probable. Hartenstein probable. Seems like it's a good amount of players here in this one right now. So let's see how you guys have it here on Saturday with the Spurs and the Thunder. Got plenty of comments on this one. All right. Jimmy Two Shoe says he wants us to think that the Spurs will cover, but next thing you know, you look up and all of a sudden, boom, they're trailing, right? Andre says, Wemby is back, everybody. Ricky's here, and he likes the over. You know what? I'm with Ricky. I want to say hello to Ricky in the chat. Haven't seen him in our chat all-stars, but hey, Ricky's going to show up here, and Rick V. I'm sorry. It looks like Rick V there. Rick's going to show up, though, and make a pick on the show here for, I think, maybe the first time. I'm going to go with Rick V. Give me the over in this game. And Mr. Wesker says that the referees have been the reason why. That's a stretch. This lineup too small for the Thunder. Give them the Spurs, says Greg. And let's see here. Timmy's going to go for a little bit of a price here because he'll take the Spurs in the first half and then Oklahoma City in the second half. Thank you, Rick. Nice to see you there. He says it is his first time in the chat. Hopefully it's not the first time watching us, but appreciate that, man. I'm going with Rick B, and I'm not going to blame him. Rick, if we lose that one, you blame me. I'm going with the over. Look, you might think under with Wemby, and look, this one's gone up. The send out here was 224.5 and has only gone higher here, it feels like, but I'm going with the over. Mr. Weskers, he's taking the Spurs. He said, hey, I guess plus the points, but I was going to say, aren't the reps going to help them cover the spread too? All right, I guess that might be it, you guys, for this one. Right now, it's a 10-game winning streak right now for Oklahoma City, and what can you say about them? They're a total attraction here right now. No matter what, no matter how good they are or how big that spread, just the fact that they're just going through this season so unconscious here right now. With a young lineup, right, it's almost like they don't know any better. And with young legs, they're just able to cruise through, and it only gets better for the Thunder after this. It all lines up. More draft picks are coming their way. It's just crazy. Spurs have failed to cover in 8 of the last 11 meetings between the two teams. Spurs have gone over in 6 of their last 7 overall, and the Thunder have gone over in 5 of their last 6. So I'm going to go over in this one. And Andre's going to go under. So much for the dramatic pause. Thanks, guys. Great job with the NBA Cup on Saturday night. I mean, that, Army Navy's the big one, and then the NBA Cup for sure. All right, if hockey's your thing, let's go to college basketball because Mr. Weskers is here, shall we? Let's go to college basketball. It's a great card, so let's do it. Let's keep the basketball theme right now, guys. And we'll cover that NHL card in depth. Believe me, 13 games on the ice. But let's go so Mr. Weskers can get some sleep and go to the great college basketball. I think I've selected maybe 10 of the best games here on Saturday. And let's get to it. It's a great card. I mean, I say I'm going over 10 or 11 games, but you could have picked 20 games with this great card here on Saturday. Let's start it off. And we'll go in rotation order here. Rotation and time order, if you know what I mean. Hopefully I got it right here on the time order. Okay, we're going to start off right now with the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Top 20 battle here. Arkansas comes in ranked 17th. Texas Tech ranked 16th right now. This one is being played in Dallas. So neutral site here for sure, I would think, for Texas Tech. Kintock is questionable in this game. There, the forward for Texas Tech, but still Texas Tech is going to be favored in this one by 1.5. And the total here, 155 here on Saturday for Arkansas. They come in here with a spread record of 6-3. Texas Tech is just 3-6. Texas Tech is 2-4. ATS as a favorite. Arkansas is 2-1. ATS as an underdog. Great one here. Arkansas's won 6 of their last 7. They've covered 4 of their last 5. Arkansas has covered the spread in 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams. Texas Tech is 5-1 in their last 6, but just 2-6 against the spread in their last 8. As good as they are, they haven't been able to get the numbers consistently. They've been laying some big numbers. They lost. They beat Wyoming by just 4 as a 19.5-point favorite. They beat Wake by 1 as a 9.5-point favorite. Of course, they got walloped by Purdue at home, remember, but I think the matchup for Texas Tech is what maybe I'm more interested in here. I think personnel-wise, I think Texas Tech is the better team. Both teams do come in 7-2 overall. Tech is the slight favorite. They are 6-0 straight up as a favorite, and Arkansas is 1-2 as a dog, but with a spread that close. Texas Tech has gone under in 6 of their last 7 games. Arkansas has gone under in 6 of their last 8. These two teams are a combined 6-12 to the under this season. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Let's see what you guys have in the chat. Then maybe I'll throw my pick in there. If you guys have something here, let's see. Mr. Weskers likes Arkansas on the money line. Tippy Tucci says, what a game, right? I mean, don't worry. We got more good ones than this. But he's going to take Texas Tech. So immediately those two good teams right there, those two guys are squaring off. Well, not much else from the chat. So I'll go with the total here in this one. I'm going to buck these trends, actually. The fact that, man, like I said, hardcore, these teams are pretty much going under so far this season. Remember, the two teams met last year, late March. 85-83, Texas Tech got the win. They were a 5.5-point favorite in that one in the NCAA uh, tournament last year. So you can remember, I think you can remember that one. Um, if you are an Arkansas here, let me see, that one was overtime. Yeah, that's right, overtime in that one. Of course, after that, uh, Texas Tech lost that next game, of course, to Florida, we know, in the national semifinal. So, all right, that was the first meeting in 4 years between the two teams. Cal Dog likes the over. I'll go with Cal Dog here. We have our discrepancy in the chat, so let me go with Cal Dog. Like I said, this should be really good, and I think despite the fact that we've seen these teams pretty steady unders here right now for sure, I think in this matchup can have some fun in Dallas, and I'm going to say go over with Cal Dog. All right. Hey, how about this with Oklahoma State and Oklahoma? They're going to play this one at the big arena at the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City. And man, you got the Cowboys coming in here 9-0. Oklahoma's 6-3 already, and they're coming in off of a loss here to Arizona State in Tempe, 86-70. ASU won that game. Oklahoma was coming off that win over Wake Forest. They've had some trouble covering spreads for sure. They were favored against Marquette 1-1, didn't cover 1.5. They were favored by 31 against Alcorn, didn't cover. Favored against 24 by 24 over Oral, didn't cover. Oklahoma's 2-7 against the spread so far this season. Oklahoma State, meanwhile, is 2-0 against the spread as an underdog, 5-4 against the spread overall. Oklahoma's been a steady under so far, 2-6-1 to the under, 1-2-1 to the under as a favorite. Oklahoma State, meanwhile, is 6-3 to the over. So, if you're trend-wise, you're Oklahoma State there, and you wouldn't know what to do with this one, with the total, given the records here right now. But we can hear from you guys in the chat in this one between Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. Pretty big total there, 167. Oklahoma State, like I said, they're undefeated. They've covered some good numbers here. They covered against Grand Canyon on the road, 184-78. However, they failed to cover against Sam, laying 13.5. They covered against Northwestern, but they didn't cover 23 against Nichols. And they did cover against South Florida, scoring 103 points in that one. Oklahoma State has covered 8 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams coming in. Oklahoma has gone under in 5 straight, but Oklahoma State's gone over in 6 straight. Oh boy, let's see what you guys have in the chat on Saturday here. All right, Mr. Weskers, he's on the Sooners. Andre says it's going to be a close one. Oh, man, look at this. He says Tech win. Oh, he's got the last game there. Sorry about that. Here we go. I think Andre's going over in this one. And Cal Dog likes Oklahoma State. So we got some conflicts there. I'm going under in this one with Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. Give me the under 167 here on Night Moves. And Timmy Two Shoes is with me. He says, hope there's no OT. That's what you got to worry about in a closely rated game, don't you? All right, let's move on to the 2 o'clock hour on the East Coast and take a look at this one with Providence on the road against Butler here. Providence coming in here 7-4. They're on a 3-game winning streak. Butler, meanwhile, coming in off of a loss. They're 7-2 overall, but they lost to Boise State at home in an upset last out. 77-68 to snap their winning streak. They also failed to cover against Eastern Michigan, laying a little bit of a number, but Butler was 7-0 against the spread until those two games. They're still 7-2 ATS overall. Butler is 5-2 against the spread as a home favorite already so far this season. Providence 1-2 against the spread as a dog, 2-3 against the spread on the road. The teams met 3 times last season. Butler won 2 of them. They met in their conference tournament, and Providence lost 75-69 in that one. Butler won 2 of the 3 meetings, but Providence covered 2 of those 3 meetings last season. For Providence here, they've gone 8-3 to the over so far this season. Butler's been a little bit of an under here, 4-5 to the under so far here this season. Butler likes 4.5, total 169. Butler had covers over Wright State, laying 14. They got the money. They were a dog against Virginia, got the win on the road. They also won and covered at home against South Carolina. For Providence, they failed to cover last time out against Brown, a 7-point win at home, but they were laying 19.5. They won and covered against Rhode Island, 90-71, as a 7.5-point favorite. Butler has won 4 of their last 5. They've won 5 of their last 6 at home this season. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Providence has covered 6 of the last 7 meetings overall against Butler. Just that game for Butler in the conference tournament when they won by 6 as a 1.5-point favorite, snapped a 6-game spread losing streak. I'm going to take the Providence Friars here, plus 4.5 against Butler here on Saturday. Timmy Chushu likes the over. He says he likes Butler, but he'll take the total instead. And Cal Dog likes the under in this one. Let's go out to the Big Ten now for this next one here as we get towards the evening action here. This one's at 4 Eastern and 1 Pacific time with Nebraska at Illinois here in Big Ten action for Saturday. Illinois, a 10.5-point favorite. It's gone down here. Let me update that line. Typed these in a little while ago. So I was watching some of the game, watching that Warriors game. I watched a little high school state championship action as well on Friday night. Okay. Yeah, I think we can move this one lower here to 9.5 right now. Maybe 10. Maybe it is fair. Maybe 10 is more fair. 10, 159, 159.5. But I definitely see some 9.5s. If anything, it might be moving in the direction of the points here with undefeated Nebraska 10-0 right now. Illinois comes in 8-2. It's Illinois that's ranked 13th in the country, but Nebraska's making waves and they're looking great. They've moved up to 23rd here right now, getting a lot of attention. Here already a win in conference play by just 30 points over Wisconsin as a 2-point favorite. They also beat Creighton by 21 points as a 5.5-point favorite at home. Now, they weren't covering some non-conference games that they won against Upstate. They couldn't cover 24 in a 9-point win. They beat Winthrop by 7 as a 14.5-point favorite. Winthrop's always got a good program. And they beat K-State by 1, but they were favored by 1.5. So for Nebraska, this is their first true road game of the season. They've been having a great start, no doubt about it. But I don't know, taking on this Illinois team, look, Illinois is just 6-4 against the spread as well, 4-2 against the spread as a favorite. and 4-3 against the spread at home so far, but they are 6-0 straight up at home. Illinois has gone under in 7 of their 10 games so far this season. They've also gone under in 5 of their 7 home games so far this season. The two teams met last year in Lincoln, and Nebraska won it 80-74 as a 4.5-point dog. That snapped a pretty long losing streak for Nebraska against the Illini. So I don't think there's too much in the terms of maybe revenge here, but still, like I said, Illinois is the higher ranked team here. Maybe 10 points is too much to give an undefeated Nebraska team that continues to look impressive right now. With you got Mast here, an 18-point per game scorer this season. There are a few. Let's see, what do we got for Nebraska? You got just Illinois. Let's see here. Jackstish is questionable with a concussion. That's really the only major short-term injury in this game. Illinois, you got guys like Boswell and Merkovich in there. And, Nebraska, they've got the big man, Bayou Tunsil, with those rebounds, and Lawrence running the show. So for Illinois here, they have gone under in 7 of their last 8. They've won 6 straight at home against Nebraska, 9 of the last 10 overall. It was a 9-game winning streak before that Nebraska win last year. Nebraska's gone 10-4 ATS dating back to last season. Let's see what you have in the chat, and I'll make my pick, but I know what I like side and total here. All right, Mr. Weskers is on Nebraska. And Timmy Tushu says he's going to lay it with Illinois. Looks like CalDog's going to lay it too. All right, you guys are on the side, a little bit of discrepancy. And let's see, Jimmy Tushu says, is somebody on the Cornhuskers good on the boards? Yeah, Merkovich. I think Merkovich is your main guy in the rebounding department. Okay, I'm going to go with, you guys went with the side, kind of going against each other in there. So I'll go over in this one here on Night Moves. Give me the over 159 here with these two teams. Can't really point to too many trends here between these two that would point to it, but you look at that total at 159. I think that might speak volumes here. And not only that, seeing Nebraska, they're actually have gone under in 4 straight right now, but Illinois just scored 88 against Ohio State in that 88-80 victory. They did beat Tennessee as well, so a loss to UConn, of course, got kind of thumped in that one. Hey, hello to Red Wings in the chat. Nice to see Red Wings here. Thank you for coming by. All right, I'm rolling out some quality college basketball games here on Night Moves tonight. Next up, take a look at KU on the road. Ranked 19th right now. They're coming in here 7-3, taking on the North Carolina State Wolfpack. Wolfpack are 7-3 right now as well. Wolfpack coming in here off of back-to-back wins. They beat Cashville 75-63. They were favored by 28.5 in that one. And they also thumped Liberty 85-46 last time out as a 12.5-point dog. They're 6-0 straight up at home this season. This is Kansas is just their second road game of the season. They lost for second true road game, I think. Here, let's see. Kansas comes in here. Well, they are 1-6 straight up in their last 7 on the road, dating back to last season. North Carolina State here has failed to cover in 5 of their last 7 games. Kansas is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5, 4-1 straight up and against the spread. Winning and covering over Mizzou by 20 at home, 80-60 last time out. They also won and covered against Tennessee, won and covered against Syracuse, won and covered against Notre Dame. They're not backing down. Meanwhile, for the Wolfpack, they had losses to Auburn by 10 points on the road, getting 5.5, and they lost at Texas as a 1.5-point favorite. They did beat Boise by 11 on the road as a 6.5-point favorite. Kansas has gone under in 7 of their last 8 games coming in. They're 2-8 to the under overall. NC State's gone under in 4 of their last 5 games coming in. I'm taking the NC State Wolfpack here to win and cover. Their favorite against Kansas. So I'm going to go ahead and lay 2.5 points here with NC State on Saturday. And let's see here. We've got, hey, hello to Zach Rossi in the chat tonight. How come I don't have a co-host here tonight to go over all these great games here? Man, what a card on Saturday, huh, Zach? Nice to see you in the chat there. Jimmy Chushu says NC State because Kansas is not very good on the road. We can't even show his comment on the screen, but I can interpret it. Mr. Wesker says he likes Kansas here. And Timmy Chushu is also Kansas. Oh, but Kansas is on the road here. Timmy, does that change anything, or are you just saying you prefer them at home? Because this one's at Raleigh. And Cal Dog, he's with me, taking NC State here. You know, maybe we've seen some vulnerabilities in Kansas. I mean, Peterson's back, so I know that's got to be big. Remember, he missed some time in there. I mean, that had to be a little bit of a factor as far as some of the, downtime there for Kansas, a few of their struggles. Pardon me. A few of their struggles here, but I'm going to take NC State. All right. Hey, come on out to beautiful Henderson, Nevada, right here, just moments away. We can get to this game in about 5 minutes at the Jack Jones Classic here for Santa Clara and Arizona State. Hey, who is Jack Jones? If you know, tell me in the chat. I'll run a trivia contest here right now. Who is Jack Jones and why was this tournament named after him? And maybe I'll come up with a prize if anyone in the chat can give me the correct answer here at the Jack Jones Classic in at the Lee's Family Value Center in Henderson, Nevada. This is game 2 of the 4 games being played here, and maybe the best one actually with Santa Clara here. A 2.5-point favorite in this one against Arizona State. Both teams come in here 8-2 right now. Arizona's won a couple in a row of winning over NAU. They covered 16.5 with ease, and they beat Oklahoma 86-70. They did lose to USC, but they won and covered against Washington State. They won and covered against Texas. They've done a pretty good job for sure. Santa Clara, meanwhile, comes in off of a road loss at the Pit, 98-71. They beat Utah Tech by 10, but couldn't cover 20. They beat Minnesota 86-75 as a 4.5-point favorite at home. They lost to St. Louis 71-70 at home in a closely rated game. They were a slight dog in that one. They actually got the money, and they rocked UL Lafayette 80-43. So good records here. Both teams 8-2. ASU's 4-1 as a dog so far this season. Santa Clara 6-3 against the spread overall. See what you guys maybe have in this one. Arizona State's coming in here 3-7 to the under so far this season. Let me go to the chat and see what you have in this one. Santa Clara and Arizona State being played out here in Henderson, Nevada. I'm just minutes away from this one. If anybody wants to, I'll be watching UFC, so otherwise I'd go on over there and check out the 4 games. The other games, we're not previewing them here, but I already mentioned Akron and Murray. Akron's a 6-point favorite. Tennessee State is taking on UNLV. UNLV is an 11-point favorite. And then UC San Diego taking on Tulane. Remember the Tritons with their great run last year and going up against Tulane in a good one. Man, that's me again. That's me and DeAndre right there. One of my teams against one of his teams. All right. ASU has covered 5 of their last 6 games coming in. Santa Clara is 14-6 against the spread. Their last 20 dating back to last season. Santa Clara has also gone over in 10 of their last 15 dating back to last year. Arizona State usually does pretty good against this conference, but we know Santa Clara's got a pretty good team. And see what you have here. I think we got some comments in the chat, and then I'll make my comment here in this one. We've got Cal Dog on Arizona State. Zach Rossi says, is Jack Jones the singer on the Love Boat? The Love Boat soon will be making another run. I don't know if Jack Jones was this. Now I'm going to, if we didn't have to keep this show moving, I'd stop singing and maybe I'd send it through AI to find out who sang the Love Boat song. That'd be a great guy to name the tournament after. All right, not much from you guys in this one in the chat, so I'll make my call here with these two. But a good little event out here. 4 teams coming out to Las Vegas here for these games out here at the Family Pay Center. I think I got that right. I think I got that right. Okay. Anything Arizona? Okay. Jack Jones, the defensive back. Greg says the former Raider. Okay. Well, I don't think anybody wants me singing TV jingles from the 70s here, Red Wing. Tony doesn't always approve when I get a little loose here on the broadcast. All right. Well, I guess I'll make my call here in this one. I do like Arizona State, actually. Give me the Sun Devils here in this one. The Sun Devils, when they go up against the West Coast Conference, they've usually handled them. Now, Santa Clara might be a little bit different here, but as a dog, I'm willing to take ASU here. Oh, yeah, Timmy, I could do the whole WKRP theme song without even looking. All right, well, we got to get back to seriousness here. Look at this one with Indiana taking on Kentucky. Hey, I know people don't want to put Indiana in with the Blue Bloods, but come on. I mean, if you have anything with tradition, you're still going to think this is off the charts here. Indiana coming in, they're actually 8-2. It's Kentucky that's 6-4, and all kinds of question marks right now. Look, you think Kentucky will, get it in gear here sooner or later, but so far it hasn't been great. They're just 6-4 straight up, and they failed to cover in 3 straight. They did just beat NC Central. They were favored by 42.5. That was unfortunate. They won it by 36. I think they opened 34. They just kept going up. I think even I laid the points. I might have laid a bad number. UK did get clobbered by Gonzaga. They also lost to UNC as a 7.5-point favorite. They rocked Tennessee Tech and Loyola Maryland, covering 37 points in both of those games. For Indiana here, they're coming in off of a monster 41-point win at home over Penn State. Right now, they're 1-1 in conference play, but take this one off here to go play Kentucky here in a regional rivalry. Indiana just played Louisville as well. They lost to them 87-78. Lost that conference game to Minnesota on the road. Remember, that was the first time Indiana. I mean, that was almost. I think that was a court stormer there for Minnesota in that one. They did thump Bethune and covered. They thumped K-State and covered as well. Just the second time this season that IU has been an underdog. Interestingly, UK has only been a favorite twice in their 10 games so far this season. They played, a pretty tough schedule here so far. I think that's wrong, actually. I've got them at 2-2, actually, as a favorite this season. My notes are wrong here. Nonetheless, so far, Indiana 6-4 to the over. So far this season, great matchup here. Let's see what you got between IU and UK. Indiana's gone under in 13 of their last 20 games dating back to last season. 9 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams have gone under. I don't care. I'm probably going over in this one. Give me the over between Indiana and Kentucky here. I gotta think it's going over right now with these two in the current situation. The way Kentucky's looking here right now, I think the only way that they can do this is to try to run and gun it a little bit. Let's see what you guys have in the chat, but I've made my call. Hoosiers here for Timmy. Cal Dogs on Indiana. Mr. Weskers is on Indiana. You guys got an well, here's Zach Rossi. He went with Kentucky. Greg's got hey, there's Greg in the chat. He's got this one close. He says Indiana might beat them, Kentucky. Kentucky's playing shaky. Oh, yeah. I mean, everyone's talking about is it a massively down season here for Kentucky right now? Can they get it going here? How about Cal Dog says, hey, they both lost to Louisville, right? All right, I'm on the over in this one with Indiana and Kentucky. Hey, Michael Campbell in the chat. Nice to have Michael here. He's on IU. Thank you, Michael. Great to have you. What a great college basketball card here on Saturday. Here's West Virginia taking on Ohio State. They're going to be playing this one at the Rocket Mortgage Arena, or the Rocket Arena, I think they call it now, in Cleveland, with West Virginia coming in here 8-3. Ohio State comes in here 7-2 right now. West Virginia comes in here off of a win over Little Rock. They covered 27.5. They did lose to Wake 75-66 at home, but they thumped Coppin. They thumped Mercyhurst, I think. And they did lose to Xavier by 10 points as a 5.5-point favorite for Ohio State. Meanwhile, like I said, they come in off that win, of that loss to Illinois, as we mentioned in the Illinois preview. But Ohio State did win a conference game against Northwestern. They're 1-1 currently in the Big Ten. They did lose against Pitt on the road as a 5.5-point favorite. They also clubbed Mount St. Mary's recently, covering 29.5. They thumped Western Michigan, covering 26.5. West Virginia here so far, they've now covered 6 of their last 9 coming in. They've gone over in 5 of their last 7. West Virginia's covered 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams, but they've really only met, I think, once since the pandemic. Ohio State won at home 78-75 back in 2023. Ohio State's actually 5-11 against the spread in their last uh, 16 games dating back to last season. Ohio State doesn't always fare that well against the Big 12 conference here, but I don't know. I think this setting is going to be okay. Now there will be fans from West Virginia here. I don't think it's an overwhelming Ohio State crowd in Cleveland. It'll be a majority for sure. So let's see what you got though in this one. I think I'm good to go here with Ohio State. I'll make my proclamation first and then go in and take a look and see what you guys have in the chat. I'm going to take OSU -4 in this one. And let's see what you guys have. Okay, Mr. Weskers is on West Virginia though. And Jimmy Choo Shoes might also be going West Virginia here. I think Greg is leaning to West Virginia, but he's definitely got a slight under here for Greg. Jimmy Choo Shoes likes the under. Zach likes the Buckeyes here. Thank you, Zach. Great to have you again in the chat All-Stars. Hope you make it a point. Cal Dog says Ohio State to kind of wake up here right now. Yeah, I mean, they've lost 2 of their last 3. Timmy hopes this game's in the 60s here. And Greg says West Virginia's tough. Might be an upset. They crushed Pittsburgh. All right, I'm going to take Ohio State in this one. All right, let's head down to New Orleans here. I had this one ready to go in case DeAndre was with me tonight. How about LSU taking on SMU in this game? Wow, at the Smoothie King Center here, so not on campus here. Plenty of Tigers fans, though, for sure. Mostly all Tigers fans. SMU comes in here 9-1 right now. LSU just tasted defeat for the first time. Last out against Texas Tech, they got rolled. 82-58 in Lubbock as a 5.5-point dog. That stopped their 8-game winning streak to start the season. But LSU's 5-4 ATS so far. For SMU, their one loss here so far was to Vandy, 88-69 in Nashville as an 11-point dog. So they didn't get the money in that one. They bounced back with a win over Texas A&M on the road, 93-80 as a 1.5-point dog. So far, SMU's just 2-4 against the spread as a favorite. They've won all their games as a favorite, but they're usually favored by more, and they're not necessarily favored here. But I don't know, man. This is going to be an LSU. Like I said, I think it's kind of a home game here for sure. Let me see what you guys have in the chat. I like both the side and the total, I think, in this game. The two teams did meet last year. In fact, it was pretty much a year to the day. They met in SMU, so we're playing a little home and home here. SMU got the win 74-64 as a 4.5-point favorite. So SMU got the money, and it went well under that total of 155. This one's at 158 here in this one. Let me hear what you guys have in this one between SMU and LSU here. This one's at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. SMU's covered 4 of their last 6 overall. They're obviously, won 9 of 10. LSU's won 8 of 9. But let's see how you have it in this one right now. I'll go to the chat and then I'll make my pick. Greg says he likes LSU to actually win it. And right on the total there pretty much. And let's see here. All right. Thank you, Andre, for your comments there on the Jack Jones trivia question. Andre's a little behind us, so I haven't been able to use his picks. We'll say this for all the regulars here, because we chop up these videos, I really only refer to the current comments that pertain to the actual game displayed on the screen. I apologize. I don't go back to any of the other picks a little late, so try not to go too fast here. But that's just how on the Night Move show. Because look, you can come back and check out all the videos. They chop them up and put them into individual games. And hey, if you can't get enough Ramon Scott. All right, Cal Dog likes the over here, and he thinks it's a shootout. Okay, if Cal Dog likes the over, I'm going to go with LSU in this one. Give me the Tigers here. I'll take them to probably win this game. We'll grab 2 points, and I'm going to take LSU over SMU here at the Smoothie Center. I am not done talking college basketball. Number 1, Arizona. Number 12, Alabama. It seems like Alabama should be higher, but they have a couple losses here right now. Of course, their last loss was to Gonzaga. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, although they did lose that one 95-85 as a 4.5-point dog. But coming in, the Tide here off of a 97-55 crushing of UTSA. They covered 33.5 in that one. They failed to cover in a 6-point win over Clemson, laying 8.5, but they thumped Maryland by 33. They crushed UNLV by 39. So Alabama is looking pretty good here so far. Yeah, they've had some losses here. This one's being played in Birmingham. It's Alabama site, if you will. It's not on campus in Tuscaloosa, but still going to be all Bama here. Arizona's done a pretty good job on the road so far, and they have some pretty good wins here on part of this streak going on. Of course, with the great with Pete in there. I mean, he's awesome. Awaka, Bradley. I mean, they're number 1 for a reason, or are they? Who do you folks have at number 1 right now? Tell me who else can be competitive here for the top spot. I mean, you've got, Michigan leading a lot of the metrics sites right now. A lot of people having Michigan at number 1. You got undefeated teams, Iowa State and Duke, Gonzaga obviously right there right now. We talked a little bit about Vanderbilt. They're undefeated. Purdue has the 1 loss. We saw UConn win tonight. It wasn't easy. So, man, it's a great college basketball season. Who do you got? All right, for Alabama, they come in here right now. Like I said, that 7-2 record, but let me hear from you guys in the chat, and then I'll make my call in this one. I want to hear from you first with this matchup. Man, it's going to be a good one. 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific time for Arizona and Alabama here on the game of the night on Saturday. This one's on ESPN. Here we go. It's Arizona for Cal Dog. I want to say hello to Eric Acevedo in the chat. Thank you, Eric, for being here. Nice to see you in the chat. Timmy Chushu likes the under in this one. He says, you got to think there's going to be some defense here with these two. Oh, man. Greg says 90-87 in favor of Alabama. Wow. I mean, look, I almost want to make sure I got the right line after I see Greg's line there. Make sure it hasn't moved on me. Yeah, right now, 1.5, 178. Can you believe it? It's not like these two teams are, rapid overs or anything, right? I mean, Alabama just 5-4 to the over. You have Arizona here 2-3 to the under as a favorite so far. I mean, yeah, isn't there going to be some defense here? That's what Timmy Two Shoe said. Timmy says, "Roll Tide." Arizona can't win every game, and they're going on the road. You almost, I'm not saying it would have been much different at Tuscaloosa, but Mr. Wesker is going to go with Arizona here. Zach says Alabama. Greg says it's tough to win at Alabama. Cal Dog says Arizona first half, Alabama second half. Is that what you're going with there? Alabama does have Holloway. He is questionable here. Also, Bristow probable. Bull Bowen is probable. So there are a few guys here with a little nicked up, but nothing to worry about here. Looks like. All right. Well, I got to make my call here with this one with Arizona and Alabama. All right, I'm going to go over in this one, guys. I think this one's going through the roof. Actually, give me the over here at 178. I was, maybe was trying to talk myself out of the with talking about these two teams really haven't put up huge numbers here. Arizona did score 103 against Denver. They actually had, they scored 97 against Auburn. Here, 98 against Norfolk, beat Connecticut 71-67 as a 6.5 point dog. Remember, they beat UCLA as well. All right, Greg says this is like a championship game for Alabama. Alabama's had big, postseason games before and everything. I don't think they're going to be, terribly disappointed if this one doesn't go their way. But I'll go over, man. This one's got to be a pro game out there, especially with Pete. I don't know where you rank him right now. I mean, he's obviously one of the best players in the country here so far. The 6'8" freshman, just looking outstanding so far this season. He's tailed off a little bit, but still does feel like he's one of the best players in the country so far this season. You got some other standouts. I mean, obviously so far for player of the year with Boozer, with Jefferson of Iowa State, with Wilson of North Carolina, of course, LeBaron Philon of Alabama, of course, one of the best players in the country, be in this game. So, all right. Jimmy says, "What happened to the total? What did it open at between these two?" No, it opened at, the send out was 173, but the low opener was mainly 176.5. I think DraftKings opened at 174.5. So, I don't know if it's square when you're moving a line early on like that. Andre has Arizona. Thanks, guys. Great job. Hey, I've got one more tonight. I mean, I got to talk about this one with UCLA and Gonzaga. We've heard Coach Cronin already coming on here whining about the game start time at 8:30 Pacific time, 11:30 Eastern here. It's ESPN, so they get to dictate. But sounds like just setting up for an excuse if in case there's a blowout tonight with Gonzaga here. Favored by 10.5, 148.5. And Mick Cronin's a miserable guy. I mean, he doesn't understand where his paycheck comes from. He just thinks it magically appears out of midair. UCLA's 3-6 against the spread this season. Gonzaga's 8-2 against the spread so far. They got one loss, I know, to Michigan, but look, Michigan's something special, and once they were behind, it was a 40-point game, but come on, this is still Gonzaga. I wouldn't hesitate to try them against Michigan again if they meet down the line. Maybe not, but I'm just saying it wouldn't be a 40-point game if they met in March. I think they were just, once they were doomed, and sometimes that happens to Gonzaga on the road against top-level competition. But for UCLA to come in here with the attitude that they have, They didn't cover so far against Washington. They lost to Cal. They did beat Oregon. They're 2-1. They're 1-1 in uh, conference play so far this season. Both teams are under teams so far. They're a combined 6-13 to the under, although UCLA has gone over in both of their true road games so far at Cal and at Washington, games they didn't cover the spread in. Gonzaga's 3-7 to the under, 2-4 to the under. This one's in Seattle, by the way, at the Climate Pledge Arena, not at Gonzaga. So a lot of these semi-neutral sites again here on Saturday. We can get a picks from you guys in the chat here on this one. It's a great matchup for sure, but UCLA has actually covered 4 out of the last 6 meetings between the two teams. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Gonzaga has actually covered 11 of their last 13 dating back to last season. UCLA has lost 4 of the last 5 games to Gonzaga, but like I said, they've usually had enough to cover the spread against them. Last year, UCLA won at home over Gonzaga 65-62 in a late December matchup. They were getting 4.5 in that one. Gonzaga had won the previous 4 meetings between the two teams, and they're all post-pandemic. So these teams are meeting pretty regularly right now. Let me hear what you guys have in the chat, then I'll make my call because I like both the side and the total in this one, and I want to hear from you. And will you even be awake? By the time when this game's over, it'll be time for night moves. All right. Cal Dog likes the over here in this one. Mr. Wesker is on Gonzaga. Timmy Chushu says UCLA can hang around. Right? Right, Cal Dog? I mean, come on, 8:30? I mean, the players are usually in bed by then, right? Not. Timmy Chushu, he's a Gonzaga guy. But maybe UCLA hangs in there. Gonzaga ain't playing any 82-69 games here, I guess. And Timmy Chushu maybe likes Ike over on his rebounds. Yeah, maybe I should check the injury report. I know Ike's in there, but he has been off and on the injury list here of late. Right now, he is questionable actually for the game, but I'm pretty sure Ike feels like he's going to be in there. I think the talk has been he'd be ready to come back. Okay, Greg says Gonzaga is going to take him behind the woodshed. Gonzaga for sure. That's it from you guys in the chat. I'm with you guys. I like Gonzaga to roll. Mick Cronin, you're going to go in there and whine before the game. Look, I will give Cronin this, right? The only way that you can get things to kind of change, if you really wanted to change it, and you're not going to change it. I mean, it's your school kind of agreeing to it in a way, right? You probably could have, if you didn't like the situation, you probably could have gotten way out of it before the season started or something like that. But you got to give in to the money. Mick Cronin, and this guy finds everything to whine about. He's miserable. Gonzaga's going to smash UCLA here. When you're going off whining before the game, you're just setting yourself up for disaster, I'm sure. That's it for college. That's it. How about that, you guys? Did you enjoy that coverage of college basketball? Well, get ready. If you like hockey here, man, so happy and honored that I've got over 80 of you in here right now joining me on Night Moves on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. We're about to go over the 13 games in the National Hockey League here. Bum, ba-da-bum, ba. All right. And a good card here on the Saturday night hockey night. And we did see 2 major trades in the NHL on Friday. Wow, did we have a couple of blockbusters, didn't we? first of all, finally, the Oilers have made their move uh, here, so finally dealing Stuart Skinner to Pittsburgh for Tristan Yari. So we'll see as Edmonton address their goaltending needs with Yari, sending Skinner and defenseman Brett Kulak and a 2029 second round pick to Pittsburgh for Yari and forward Samuel Poulin. Big move here for the Oilers. This has been weighing on them. It seems like now for close to I don't, I don't know, close to 2, 3 seasons almost, right? Because the Oilers have not really been able to get over the hump, and the goaltending is inconsistent. More so, the defense is inconsistent. They get Kulak here to kind of shore things up as well, but certainly. Uh, this has got to be an upgraded goal to bring in Tristan Yari here in Edmonton. Big trade there on Friday. Also, the Canucks dealt defenseman Quinn Hughes to the Wild here. The Wild acquired Hughes from the Canucks for prospects and a pick there. To kind of get things rolling here in the trade season here in the NHL. So also the Oilers, I believe, picked up defenseman Spencer Stastny from the Predators for a 2027 third-round pick. So they acquired the young defenseman there on Friday. But really the two big trades there on Friday. Okay, let's get us going here right now in the NHL on Saturday night. Whoops. Sorry about that game. That's the wrong game there. Here we go. This one is at 12:37 Eastern, 9:37 Pacific time here. Early start on Saturday with the Ducks. That's a 9:30 body clock game, if you will, taking on the New Jersey Devils here. But the Ducks have been playing well here. They are coming in off of a loss to the Islanders last time out, third game of the road trip here. They started with a win over Pittsburgh. New Jersey, meanwhile, just lost at home to Tampa Bay, 8-4 a couple of nights ago. They did beat Ottawa 4-3, but New Jersey's a little bit slumping here of late. We know the Ducks have been great. They're currently in first place here, tied with Vegas in the Pacific Division. But man, they're 19-11-1. The Devils are 17-13-1 coming into this one. The two teams have played their first meeting of the season already at Anaheim, and the Ducks won it 4-1 back on November the 2nd. See what you have in this one with the Ducks and the Devils. We get ready to go here with our Saturday NHL card. The Ducks are 20-11 to the over this season. They're 10-6 to the over on the road. The Devils are 8-10 to the under as a favorite. They are the slight favorite here still currently. Let me peek at it here. Yeah, $1.15, $1.20 right now for the Devils. I'm expecting Markstrom in here right now. Anaheim has won 4 out of the last 5 meetings between these two teams. New Jersey's lost 5 straight at home and 6 of their last 7 overall. Anaheim has lost 5 of their last 7 on the road, but they have won 4 of their last 6 coming in. Anaheim's also gone over in 5 straight, although 9 of the last 12 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Let's see what you have in the chat. Greg likes it 4-2 Devils here. Wow. And Timmy says, do have some concerns here personnel-wise as Timo Meier is out of this one. Yeah, Meier's out. Dodonov just hit the IR for New Jersey. Of course, Jack Hughes has been out here. Gritchuk is out as well for the Ducks, of course. Dostal is in goal here. And quick revenge for the Devils on that game. Over for Timmy Two Shoes in the early game. Want to say hello to Psychotic Mafia. Nice to have Psychotic Mafia in here. I love it. Psychotic Mafia are on the Ducks. Cal Dog on the Ducks. Red Wings says New Jersey's struggling, but don't trust Anaheim right now. Go under. I'm going to take Anaheim in this one between the Ducks and the Devils. Give me the Ducks on the road here to keep it going. All right, the Ottawa Senators are on the road here, taking on the Minnesota Wild. Ottawa comes in 14, 12, and 4. They did snap a 3-game losing streak last time out, beating Columbus on the road 6-3. For Minnesota, they come in here with a 2-game winning streak. They're 17, 9, and 5. Coming in here off of a win over Dallas the other night, 5-2 at home. They crunched them. They also beat Seattle on the road. Minnesota's been a terrific home team so far, 9-3, but Ottawa's 8-6 on the road, done a pretty nice job so far. Still, just $1.15 here with Minnesota, with clearly the better record here right now. Is it a typo? Is it a trap? Ottawa's done a nice job, make no mistake. They are having a pretty good season here, but still, they've lost recently here at home. They were on a 3-game losing streak at home to the Rangers, to the Blues, to the Devils before they beat Columbus. And Columbus, we know, is a bottom feeder here. Now, maybe because Gustafsson is expected in there instead of Wallstedt, but I don't know if that should necessarily be the case. Minnesota has been going under here of late in 7 of their last 10 games overall and 11 of their last 15. Ottawa, though, has been a big time over. They're 6-2 to the over as a dog, 11-5 to the over on the road, and 19-11 to the over overall. They've gone over in 7 of their last 8 and 5 straight on the road. 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Minnesota's been on a roll. I mean, they've won 10 of their last 13 overall and 5 of their last 6 at home. So maybe, maybe it is Ottawa's spot. Maybe that's what the Sharps are saying here with this line, because Minnesota is just a slight favorite here right now. Let's take a look in the chat and see what you guys have here. Maybe here Timmy says the Wild. Greg says the Wild as well. And Kaprizov, look, obviously pretty decent spot here right now. And, Hughes, they did acquire Hughes, and I think he's going to make this, but I think there's a little bit with the timing of it. I think he's supposed to play, right, but I think their listing is questionable because he hasn't necessarily gotten. I don't want to say right now, but I think they were saying that he might not be able to make the lineup just out of logistics here. But Brodin is questionable. Zuccarello is out. Middleton's out right now for Minnesota. So we got some players missing here for sure. Lars Eller is out for Ottawa. Psychotic Mafia likes the Wild. And, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the Wild as well. Give me Minnesota. Maybe I'm missing something here with this game. That seems like a pretty good price. All right, the San Jose Sharks going to take on the Penguins, and well, I guess they're going to go with Silobs here right now. I think he'll be the number 1 over Skinner, but Pittsburgh has lost 3 straight. San Jose comes in having won 2 of their last 3 games overall. Pretty nice here. San Jose with wins over Toronto and Carolina. They did lose to Philly, but this is their 5th straight road game right now. They're kind of on a grind here a little bit, but hey, having won 2 of the last 3, you're going up against a Pittsburgh team with consecutive losses to Dallas, Anaheim, and Montreal. Not an easy schedule. They did play well in those games against Dallas and Anaheim, not so much against Montreal, but still losers of three straight. These two teams have already played their first game this season. It was 3-0. The Pens won at San Jose. Pittsburgh comes in here just 4-6 as a favorite so far this season. Pittsburgh is 3-7 to the under as a favorite. San Jose's 13-19 to the under as an underdog. San Jose's lost 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two. San Jose's gone under in 8 of their last 9 on the road and 4 of their last 5 overall. However, 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over here in Pittsburgh. That's 5 years though. Once a year. Penguins have dropped 5 of their last 6 on the road and 4 of their last 6 overall. I'm going to go under in this one with San Jose and Pittsburgh. Zach has Pittsburgh in this one. Timmy's going contrarian and going over. Greg likes Pittsburgh in the under. All right, the Tampa Bay Lightning are at the New York Islanders here on Saturday night. Or I should say Saturday afternoon. This is 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific with the Lightning on the road, $1.25, and my man Jonas Johansson in there in the goal, minus $1.25. Total 6 under 15. Both teams come in here riding 2-game winning streaks. Tampa Bay with wins over Montreal and New Jersey on the road. This is their 4th straight road game. Islanders, meanwhile, the back-to-back home wins over Pacific Division frontrunners Anaheim and VGK. They've also beaten Tampa Bay and Colorado. The Islanders are on a little bit of a roll here. Islanders are 13-7 as an underdog this season. Tampa Bay just 13-11 as a favorite. They are 10-4 on the road, however, but the Islanders are 9-6 at home. And like I said, pretty good group here. You got to like the goalie matchup, I would think, for the Islanders here, right? Tampa, though, has won 9 of their last 13 overall. They've won 10 of the last 15 meetings between these two teams. The teams just met back on December the 6th last week. Islanders won at Tampa Bay 2-0, and the Islanders won at home here just 10 days ago, 2-1. So these two teams are already playing their 3rd game here in the last 11 days against one another. Does that favor the Islanders? They've won the last 2, or the Lightning going to get up for this one and win one on the road? Islanders have won 5 of their last 6 and 4 of their last 5 at home. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under. The Islanders have gone under in 11 of their last 15. Let's see if there's anything in the chat with this one. Right. Let's see here. Barzal, anytime goal, and the Islanders, says Timmy Tushu. Red Wing and Cow Dog might be on the under here. I don't know if it was this game or the last game, though. I'm not sure on that. Hope I didn't mess it up there. If you guys were trying to get it in on that Sharks game. If it's this game, let me know. I'm sorry about that, guys. Greg here likes the Islanders and the over here. Jimmy thinks it'll go overtime. Cal Dog says the Islanders to keep it going here. I'm going to mark Cal Dog here down. I'm going to mark it down with Cal Dog. Poor Andre's still behind us, you guys. I don't mean to make fun of him there. Red Wing says Tampa. Maybe they do have their number, huh? But Psychotic Mafia is on the Lightning. Timmy says it looking like a Tampa spot, maybe because of the fact that the Islanders won those games. Huh? A little bit of the revenge here, maybe for the Lightning. I know that. Look, Johansson's one of the least popular goaltenders. It feels like with bettors, and here you have to lay it as a favorite. Now, look, we expect the Lightning here as they've really gotten things going. They did have a losing streak recently, but obviously have bounced back. But the Islanders are playing about as well as they have right now. Psychotic says Tampa is hot, doesn't fade them on the road. Remember, they had a losing streak before they won the last two. Cal Dog liking the under here. I'm going to go with Cal. I like the under as well. Give me the under in this one with the Lightning here and the Islanders. We did have one winner on night moves last night. That was the over in the late game. Hey, Tom Reghard is here. He likes the Islanders because of Sorokin. Yeah, I think, Tom, you know what? I think they do have a distinct goaltending advantage here. All right. You know, if we wait long enough, Andre will catch up to us. I'm going slow enough tonight and having such a great time with you guys here on a big NHL card. Let's go to the next one. Maybe Andre will catch up. All right, the Canadians are at the Rangers here in this one, and yeah, we know the Canadians have their share of goaltending woes here of late. They are coming off of a win though over Pittsburgh, 4-2, snapping a 2-game losing streak where they lost to the Blues and Tampa Bay at home, and then they went on the road and won. It seems like the Canadians are playing a little bit better on the road here. The Rangers have lost 3 straight, but it was to Colorado, VGK, and they got shut out by Chicago here, but they've had a couple of days off here. Igor in the goal going up against Sam for the Habs. Montreal's been stellar on the road so far this season, while the Rangers have been terrible at home. So if we adhere to, and look, the Rangers have come back here and won a few home games now, but Montreal is 9-3-2 on the road. The Rangers are 3-8-3 at home. I think we're supposed to just go back to the Canadians here, probably. Rangers are 11-21 to the under this season. The Canadians are 20-10 to the over. So you really have, and the Canadians have been, just over city. We know that. Montreal has gone over in 15 of their last 20. The Rangers have gone under in 5 of their last 6. What do you do when you have one team that's a massive over and one team that's a massive under? Maybe you go to the series history where this series has gone over in 8 straight games. And they're, semi-frequent opponents for sure in the Eastern Conference. So I'm going to go over. I think I'm just going to leave it at that. Rangers have gone under in 6 straight. I can't tell you anything that they haven't. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone over when playing here in New York. I know that, remember the one game that's actually 3 straight, 4 of the last 5. Still, I mean, these teams meet, 4 times a year. So it's not very hard to have a little bit of interval in there. They already met once this season. It was 4-3 in favor of the Rangers winning at Montreal. I'm just going over in this one, but let me hear from you in the chat. I'm definitely taking the over here. Here we go with the Canadians and the Rangers. Okay, Timmy says Rangers and Zibanejad for an anytime goal. Greg likes the Canadians to win this one and an under here. Psychotic Mafia is liking the Canadians on the road. Like I said, right? I mean, not going to say the Canadians are it's still a great record for the Canadians. We kind of get on their case a little bit with Montembeault not looking good. Davish has been up and down. They're trying to figure out why they're giving up so many goals. It was only a couple years ago, man, that the Canadians were uh, awful, right? They were dreadful for several years. They've only begun to get going here over the last couple of years. Rangers just 15, 13-4 in the Metro. That's tough. They're barely staying ahead of Columbus here. They're next to last place. Tom likes the Rangers in this one. Jimmy says he got Demidov for an assist. It should be automatic there. All right. Let's check the injury report here. I think there was one significant. Let me see what's going on here. Jake Evans, questionable still here. I don't know. I don't know if Jake's going to make it. He's out for personal reasons, so I just don't think I have the information there. That's all there is to that. Edstrom is out for the Rangers. All right, and Cal Dogg's going to go with the Rangers in this one to kind of get it back going at home. Maybe it was a fluke early on, right? They're starting to win a few games at home. All right, Caps and the Jets here. So it looks like a pretty good goaltending matchup in this one. With the Caps, going to be a slight favorite on the road. Caps coming in here, 18, 9, and 4. Winnipeg's just 14, 15, and 1. People are betting them lately like they're back or better than that. They've lost 3 straight here coming in to Edmonton, Dallas, and Boston last time out. They got crushed by Boston at home, 6-3. Winnipeg having their share of struggles for sure. Here's the thing. Capitals are favored, and make sure here Capitals are still favored. Yeah, in fact, $1.30, $1.25, they're a solid favorite. Winnipeg's 0-8 as an underdog this season. They haven't been able to win one. And Washington is 14-7 as a favorite, and they're playing pretty well here right now. Like I said, when Jets have been bigger underdogs, so we're not going to go around saying, hey, you're going to lose all your games as an underdog, but they haven't been able to win one game as an underdog. And I can tell you several teams that are, close to 500 as a dog. So Winnipeg's lost 4 of their last 5 at home and 5 of their last 6 overall. Washington's won 7 of their last 9 and 4 of their last 5 on the road. It's only $1.15. I know it's hockey night here in Canada, and Winnipeg's gone over in 10 of their last 15, but Washington here gone under in 4 of their last 6. 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two have gone under. These two teams met back on November the 26th. It was 4-3 Washington won. At home, Winnipeg played well in that game. Winnipeg played okay against them in this series, but Washington still won 8 of the last 12 meetings between the two teams. I got to go with Washington here with Thompson in the pipes. We take it for granted. We take Thompson for granted here sometimes. Of course, Thompson's had some nice outings here of late as well. He blanked the Blue Jackets here about a week ago, remember, for his 100th career victory, picking up 39 saves in that one. A milestone win there for Logan Thompson, who has a 1.96 goals against. And I think Hellebuck's going to be in there. If Comrie's in there, what are you going to make the line now? You might as well get it $1.15. If Comrie's in there, it's got to go up, right? I'm going to take Washington here for sure in this one. Let's go to the chat. And Zach Rossi likes the Caps here in this one. Greg likes the Capitals here. Chetrin, Timmy with the Chetrin there. Greg says Capitals. He likes the Caps and an over here. And Psychotic Mafia says, I'm going to take the Caps. You could make an argument for the Jets. Let me try to make an argument for the Jets. Uh, they beat Buffalo at home recently. Well, they are 7-7 at home this season. Washington's 8-4 on the road. Caps puck line for Cal Dog, maybe the under. Ovechkin with a goal, maybe an empty netter. Jets are not looking that good, says Timmy. Ovechkin goal, Caps money line for Timmy. And Tom Reghard liking the Jets, though, to get it done here at home. Look, that's a great equalizer. I think that's where you make the argument here. At home still, you're still should be a decent team in the Jets trying to get to 500. Oh, and Greg, Capitals are money. All right. Well, I guess it's going to be Calvin Pickard in there for the Oilers tonight. Following the trade there, Picard's going to have to start in goal here. I don't think they have Tristan Jarry just yet. Hey, but the Oilers have won 3 of 4 coming in right now with wins over Seattle, Winnipeg, and Detroit. They lost to Buffalo. So they beat some good teams. Seattle's kind of been struggling for sure. They beat up on them 9-4. There's nothing wrong with the Oilers' offense here. I mean, they've scored basically 22 goals in the last 4 games. Meanwhile, for Toronto, they come in here 14-11. Both teams are 14-11, and right now, Toronto coming in here with a loss last out to San Jose. They're playing their 4th straight home game. They've actually lost 2 of 3 to Montreal and San Jose. They did blank Tampa Bay in there. Toronto's 9-4 at home this season. I'm expecting Hill to be here in this one. 2-3 for Hill to be at 2.25 goals against, but an impressive 93.5% save percentage so far. What will the Oilers be like here following their trade? And I don't think Jarry here, even though it's at Toronto, we'll see. I think Picard, it would be great on Saturday night to have him in there, hockey night with 2 Canadian teams here. I'd like to see Jarry in that lineup, but we'll see how that goes. All right. For Toronto here, they've won 4 of their last 6. They've gone under in 5 straight and under in 5 of their last 6 at home. However, 4 of the last 5 meetings between these 2 teams have gone over. We got 2 of those Canadian teams where the teams are a combined 36 and 25 to the over this season. But like I said, Toronto here been going under a little bit of late. Edmonton has lost 6 of their last 7 trips here into Toronto. I've got to take Toronto in this one. Edmonton's dropped 11 of their last 16 on the road right now. So give me Toronto in this one. Let's let Edmonton get settled. Even if Jarry's in there, I think the price will adjust. Let's see what you got in the chat, but I've already given my pick. All right, I think Timmy might be on the Leafs here. Zach's on the Leafs. Mr. Wesker is on the Oil here. And Greg here says 4-3 Oilers take the puck line with Toronto here. All right. Cal Dog on the Oilers here. And Tom is on the Leafs. Andre says Caps and over. Mr. Weskers is an Oiler fan. Tavares, anytime goal, but a lot of Leafs could score. Whoops. Andre got his late pick shown. Toronto not laying none with Oilers on the I think Psychotic Mafia is on Toronto. All right. And that's going to do it in that one. Man, we're making good time here on this 13-game card. The Vegas Golden Knights are going to be on the road taking on the struggling Columbus Blue Jackets. Vegas comes in here off of a win. They've been pretty hot of late. They did lose to the Islanders, but they came back with a win over Philly, 3-2. They earned that victory there over Philly in overtime. Vegas doesn't play a lot of overtime games. They're only 16, 15, 6, and 9. Meanwhile, Columbus 13, 12, and 6, but losers of four straight to Ottawa, Carolina, Washington, and Florida. They have not looked good here in their last few games, and they're giving up a ton of goals right now. And there's no stopping the bleeding right now, it feels like, for the Blue Jackets. Vegas comes in here having won 5 of their last 6. They've won 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams, although the teams did not. This is the first meeting between the two. Vegas has gone under in 8 of their last 12 on the road. This series has gone under in 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams. Columbus has dropped 8 of their last 10 coming in. 7 of the last 10 meetings overall have gone under between these two teams. So basically, that's about all the games out of the pandemic, I think. Columbus has gone over in 4 of their last 5 overall here. We'll see. What do you like in this one? Man, Vegas here, pretty solid favorite for sure on the road. $1.45 with Columbus struggling here right now. And might have to take a little bit of a favorite here. I pretty much have stayed clear of laying any odds here on this show tonight. Mostly going with some totals and a lot of competitive games. I mean, look at these lines here. We don't have any lopsided lines tonight, except for Colorado coming up. See what you got here with this matchup between Vegas and Columbus here. And it's going to be Zach is on VGK. And let's see here. Psychotic Mafia said likes to black the Blue Jackets at home, but going to take the Golden Knights. Yes, if you think about it, when the Columbus at home, they're down 2.5 units so far this season, but they are 6-4-3. It's just been recently that they've kind of given it back with the home loss to Ottawa there. The other games were on the road, but still a 4-game losing streak. Greg likes the Golden Knights and the under here. I don't think I mind that under, actually. Timmy says he's going to take Columbus to finally get one. Cal Dog likes the over. And want to say hello to Dak Kush King in the chat. Thank you, Dak Kush King. He likes the Blue Jackets on the puck line in this one. Thanks. Nice to have Dak Kush King in the chat. Tom Regard on Columbus here. The two teams have actually alternated wins and losses. Vegas did win here, though, last year, 4-0. Tom likes Columbus as well. Man, there's enough support here for Columbus. Probably just, I don't know, man. Vegas, it feels like they're starting to make their move a little bit here. I got to take Vegas on the road, you guys. I'm going to homer it up here and take the Golden Knights. Next up, Carolina's on the road, taking on Philadelphia. $1.60 here. Now we're getting some bigger lines a little bit here later in the card as we are in to the evening action here with Carolina on the road taking on Philly in this one. Carolina comes in here 19-9-2. Philly 16-9-4. Pretty good matchup, man. Carolina's a pretty big favorite for not having a totally dominant record this season in the win-loss column. Carolina is 18-9 as a favorite so far this season. They're coming in here off back-to-back wins over Columbus and Washington. Meanwhile, Philadelphia played pretty well here. They've split their last 4 games, wins over Buffalo and San Jose, but lost to good teams, Carolina and VGK, but played competitively in those games. I think Philly can hang here with Carolina, but, Carolina, look at the kind of the trends with these two. Carolina's defeated Philadelphia in 6 straight meetings right now. Philadelphia's, get this, 0-8 in their last 8 games at home against Carolina. At home, they've lost 8 straight to them. Two teams have met this season 4-3. Carolina won it at home. It was a pretty good game for sure. Philadelphia's 8-10 to the under at home, but 12-8 to the over as a dog. Meanwhile, Carolina 5-9 to the under on the road. Philadelphia's gone under in 7 of their last 10 at home. 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Carolina's gone under in 6 of their last 7 overall coming in. Carolina's gone under in 13. I'm going under. I'm not. I could just read a bunch of under trends. I already like the under here. I'm taking the under with Carolina and Philly. But man, imagine they've lost. I mean, yes, Philadelphia's been mediocre at best. Carolina's been probably better than they are right now. But losing 8 straight at home, that's dominance. 8 straight at home. Philly's lost to Carolina. Andre said, "Did I catch up finally? Put me on 1.5 speed. I can't sound any worse." Mr. Westers is on the Canes to keep it going. Psychotic Mafia says this one's hard to predict. Sports fan, hello, sports fan. He's getting ready for the UFC. Going to be a great card tomorrow night, the last card of the year, you guys, here, and got that main event. I will say this. I'll just interject here real quick. I know let me get out of this hockey segment. Zach Rossi likes home dog Philadelphia here. Greg likes Philadelphia as well. Doesn't trust the Canes. Seth Jarvis, anytime goal in here, says Timmy Tushu. Greg says it'll go overtime maybe. And let's see, Tom says take the Flyers. A lot of people liking the Flyers despite that 0-8 record at home against Carolina. I'll take the under because I got to respect the chat here. Okay, next up, the Panthers are taking on the Stars here on Saturday night. You got the Stars here, favored to $1.40 in this one, and the total here 5.5, maybe 6 under 15. Maybe let me see what the total is now. Yeah, 6 under 15. It feels like this is a pretty good game here. You know, Florida. A lot of people are still down on Florida, but they're starting to make their move a little bit here. It feels like, yes, they have, the missing their superstars from this season so far, but they're up to 15, 13-2 now. They've won 3 of their last 4 with wins over Columbus, the Islanders, and Utah. They did get rocked last time out by Carolina. Remember, I was like, oh, Florida's playing as good as they have, and Colorado's actually lost 2 of 3. Colorado crushed them, okay? Dallas comes in here. They had their winning streak snapped last time out in a loss to Minnesota, 5-2 on the road. They were on a winning streak before that, a big-time winning, a good winning streak and just a good winning run. Dallas has won 8 of their last 10 and 6 of their last 7 at home, but Florida's won 5 straight meetings over these Dallas Stars. Now, granted, like we said, Florida's missing their stars now, but one of those meetings they've already played this year. Florida won at home 4-3. I kind of want to take an upset here, you guys. I guess I just believe in Florida too much. Look, Dallas is great. Ottinger's great. 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone over. 12 of the last 18 have gone over here in Dallas. That's a 20-year sample size, but Florida's gone over in 7 of their last 10 and 6 of their last 8 on the road right now. Florida is just 1-3 to the under as an underdog. They've only been underdog 4 times this season, despite, maybe they have been overrated necessarily, obviously, right, with this, record of just 2 games over 500. And they've only been an underdog 4 times. See what you have in the chat. I don't think anybody's going to want Florida, but I might. Maybe just I want to be that guy, but I didn't hit it last time. Okay, Dak Kush King, stars easy, definitely stars. Can't justify the stars here, says Mr. Weskers. Andre Light, hey, Andre's here. He caught up. He says go under. Psychotic Mafia likes the stars. Man, you guys love the stars here for sure. Timothy Hawk likes the over. Cal Dogs on the stars. Okay, I better not go with the. I better just go with the total because if I was gonna, I'll just bet the Panthers and not even put it out there. I think. Bobrovsky is suspect. Give him the stars. Johnston to score. Dallas 4-2. DeAndre would pick the stars even if he was here tonight. Tom Regard's on Florida. Someone's on Florida. I'll take the over in this one. Oh, Andre said he'll roll. Oh, man. Okay. I'm going to take the over, you guys. I think you know I might be on the pan. Let me just Panthers money line for Andre. Well, I kind of got chicken there because everybody in the chat. I don't want to go against the chat. So I'll go with the over, but, you guys heard what I'm saying. If Colorado crashed the Panthers, I can only imagine what the Stars would do. Well, Colorado's much better than not much better. The Colorado Avalanche are a little bit better than the Stars, right? A little bit better than everybody. Hey, we're in the home stretch. And here's the Red Wings on the road taking on the Blackhawks. Red Wings come in 17-12-3. Chicago's 13-12-6. Red Wings just had a 3-game winning streak snapped by Edmonton last time out on the road, 4-1 a couple of nights ago. Before that, they'd beaten Seattle, Vancouver, and Seattle in the Pacific Northwest swing. Blackhawks, meanwhile, come in here having lost 3 of 4, lost to St. Louis last night, of course. 3-2 on the road, so a little bit of a back-to-back here, but the Blackhawks are at home at least. Red Wings, though, might have been here waiting for them. These two teams did meet back on November the 9th for their first meeting. The Blackhawks won on the road 5-1. They dominated that game, did Chicago. But Detroit, you got them as a big favorite here at $1.90. Blackhawks are 13-16 as an underdog. They're also 23-6 as a puck line dog. Meanwhile, Detroit 3-11 as a puck line favorite. Still, it's not exactly a cheap price if you wanted to take the Blackhawks at home on that puck line, even though Detroit is minus $1.90. Chicago's plus 1.5 at minus $1.50. But still, I think 23-6 against 3-11 does pay that off. Let's see if you guys have anything in the chat in this one with Detroit and Chicago here on Saturday night. We got a Detroit team in here coming in, having won 5 of their last 6 over Chicago. They've won 4 of their last 6 overall. Detroit's gone over in 8 of their last 11. They've also gone over in 5 of the last 7 meetings here in Chicago. Chicago's gone over in 6 of their last 9. Chicago's dropped 9 of their last 12 overall and have gone just 2-4 in their last 6 at home. 5 of the last 7 meetings between, I said that one here. Let me go to the chat. Help. Too many games. Starting to lose my focus on it. Okay, here we go in the chat. We've got here Timmy Chushu on the Red Wings. Andre says, go with Chi-Town. Greg says he likes Detroit here. Puck line and an under. Cal Dog liking the Red Wings here as well. Psychotic Mafia leaning to the Red Wings. If Chicago covers that puck line, wouldn't be surprised. Zach Rossi on the Hawks, though. Andre says 2-team parlay, Panthers money line over, and Chicago money line and over. Wait a minute, that feels like 3 teams. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. Panthers money line and over. Oh, I guess that's the other game. He's got two-team parlays. Thank you, Andre. And Tom says he'll take the Blackhawks here as well. You know what? I'm going to take the over in this one with Detroit and Chicago. Man, I'm going with some totals here tonight on the show. Got a couple more here. Oh, you know what? We've got this one. We've got this one with the Predators and the Avalanche, and it's minus 345. So what are you going to do here with Colorado? Total 6.5 in this one. Colorado's won 3 of 4 now. Just beat up on Florida 6-2. They did lose to Nashville, but Colorado's awesome here with this incredible record. They're the Oklahoma City Thunder of hockey. 22-2-7. Nashville comes in here playing about as well as they have all season. They're on a 2-game winning streak. They're 12-14-1. Everybody buried this team, but all of a sudden, back-to-back wins over Colorado and St. Louis. So a little bit of a good run here right now for sure between these two. You got a Nashville team here, just 6-15 as an underdog, but look, this is a huge line. Colorado 16-14 as a puck line favorite. Nashville 11-10 as a puck line dog. The puck line price on Nashville is plus money here tonight, but man, Colorado is just destroying everybody left and right. Colorado's won 10 straight at home. They've won 15 of their last 18. They've won 7 straight at home against Nashville and 12 of the last 17 games overall between the two. Nashville's gone over in 8 of their last 9 games, and 13 last 20 games between these two teams have gone over. I'm going to go over in this one with Nashville and Colorado. All right, let's see what you got here with Greg says Colorado to roll here. Psychotic Mafia is going to put the Avalanche in a parlay with the Wild or the Ducks. Makar to score. Hello to Plant Based tonight. Hi, Plant Based. Zach likes Colorado to roll as well. Hey, I could come in here and give out Colorado. But look, Gal Dog says Nashville to win again. And why not? Nashville already won when these two teams met, right? Just 4 days ago, we said it. 4-3 at home over Colorado for a rare slip-up for the Avalanche. So will they be thinking revenge, or maybe do they just overlook them again and the Avalanche can, play, down to the competition this one because it looks too easy. Timmy Two says Avs team total over. And Greg is says quick revenge here. All right, gang. I've got one more game here tonight. Where's it at? There it is. The Flames are taking on the Kings in this one. You got the Kings, $1.85, 8.5. Kings come in here 14-8-8. Calgary 12-16-4. Kings are a big favorite, of course, in this one. Kings have won just one of the last 6 meetings between these two teams, believe it or not. Calgary's gone over in 9 of their last 13, including 6 of their last 7 on the road. But the Kings have gone under in 8 of their last 12, including 5 of their last 6 at home. However, 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams here in Los Angeles have gone over. But Calgary has had their way with the Kings, believe it or not, and the Calgary Flames are one of the worst teams in the league right now. They're 12-16-4. Kings are 14-8-8. Teams have not met yet this season, of course, but like I said, Calgary basically has been knocking it out of the park against the Kings right now, believe it or not. Calgary just 5-11 on the road this season, 8-17 as an underdog, but the Kings are much better on the road. So, you know what? It's a pretty stiff puck line here, minus $1.70 for Calgary. See what you guys have in the chat, but I'm going to take the Calgary Flames here as my upset pick tonight over the Kings right now. Maybe it's a mental block here. Let's see what you guys have in the chat, and then the show's over. Here's Greg. He likes the Flames here. Timmy Chushu likes the Flames, and Psychotic Moppy. We all like the Flames. Maybe even on the puck line, but I'll take him on the money line here to beat the Kings tonight. Let's get an upset. Even Andre's on the Flames. We're all on the Flames. We might be very sophisticated here with the chat. You guys, that's going to do it for Night Moves here. Wow, what a show. Thank you, everybody. 2 hours of sports betting talk here. Two and a quarter hours of sports betting talk here right now. And thank you for joining me here on the show. Back tomorrow with more Night Moves. Yeah, we'll talk NFL football tomorrow on the show. And don't forget, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. There you'll find our premium picks, absolutely our best picks every day over at Tony'sPicks.com. Want to mention tomorrow UFC action here for Saturday. It was the last UFC of the season. You can catch my best picks over there at Tony'sPicks.com for the UFC card. I've got a 3-pack of winners. Let me bring it up here and show you. Check me out there over at Tony'sPicks.com. I got my top 3 plays for UFC Vegas 112. My 3 best plays, they're all close to pick 'em. You're never going to get a $2 favorite with me when you're paying good money for these picks. I'm going with the closest rated matchups of the night here. So check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. There's a good main event. This package does not include the main event between Brandon Roybal and Manel Cup. Flyweights, top 5 flyweight contenders. The flyweight division, of course, got topsy-turvy after last week's results, but I do have 3 of the closest rated fights. So if you're having any trouble with those near pick'ems, trust me tomorrow, and I'm going to bring home some winners over at Tony'sPicks.com. It's profit guaranteed. So if I don't hit 2 of these 3 picks, you're going to get credits back to your account. You can use them back here with me once again on another package, or use it on one of the other great handicappers over at Tony'sPicks.com. Check out the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot, and then get signed up. Take a look at who had a great day over at the site on Saturday over at Tony's Picks, and take a look. It was a slow night, I'll tell you that. Alessandro won his only play. There's DeAndre. He went 1-0-1. Let's check in with DeAndre. He's always great to join us a couple times a week, and let's see what he had there. And he's got those plays lined up for tomorrow as well. He had Austin P against East Tennessee. Great job. He said, go P. And they did. They covered as a 3-point dog there. He also got a tough one there with the Hornets. Man, the Hornets blew that game against the Bulls. The Bulls needed a win. They got it. All right, and that's going to do it here on Night Moves. Really appreciate everyone here. What a great show we had. I want to thank to everybody in the chat as well. Timmy Two Shoes, Zach Rossi. It was great to have you, and Psychotic Mafia as well. I hope to have you guys again join me here in the chat All-Stars. I'm really looking to fill up our chat room. And look, hopefully everyone wants to hear what I have to say, trends, line moves, and all that. But they love to see other plays and what people are doing, and that gives them a feel for, hey, maybe they want to go with our chat, maybe they want to fade it, whatever. They just know what other people are thinking about the game. It's so important to get your feedback here on Night Moves. All right, well, that's going to do it. Back here tomorrow on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. And for Tony'sPicks.com, I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Night Moves.